Hey guys, it's Claire, and welcome to Oh Hey My Cat Died, the podcast that brings back face-to-face conversations. And I'm so excited because I am here with CJ, aka another movie guy on TikTok.
Hi, Claire. I am so happy to be here. I was just telling you that, but also just to give context to your viewers, you have been following me since a very long time. I don't know exactly when, but definitely probably around 1,000 followers, give or take, maybe a little bit more. So it's been super cool that you've been super active, and this is kind of like a full circle moment for me. So I'm a big fan of you, and I'm super happy this is the first
You.
podcast I'm on. So yeah, for sure, I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I thought the idea was so cool. You've had a really fast growth, which I think is so
Yeah.
awesome. Like, I probably followed you in 2024, so yeah.
Probably. Yeah, it's been really weird and exciting at the same time. A lot of unknown territory for sure. I mean, I had in March, I think it was March, I had like 30 followers, and now I'm literally about to hit 100,000. So that is, I'm just like whiplashed, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I'm so excited for you. We're gonna celebrate big time when that happens. Hopefully, it's before
Let's
this
do
comes
it.
out.
Hopefully, probably not, but we'll see.
It could be. It
It,
could be. This will
it,
be out in like a week. So yeah.
okay, cool. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I might blow it, but we'll see.
You're fine. Well, my first question for you is how did you get into film?
It's one of those things that I don't remember getting into. It's just always been there. You know what I mean? My first memory is laying in bed with my mom watching Wizard of Oz. That's as far back as I can remember. That's as far back as I can pinpoint. And that's kind of the theme throughout my life. There's just moments that I see a film and I don't think, oh, when I was 15, this happened or this happened. No, it's like when I was 15, I saw this movie. Like I associate moments in my life with moments when I saw movies, and it's just always kind of been parallel to everything I do. So I got into film by just being born. I don't know. It's just one of those things that naturally happened. Wizard of Oz led me to Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka led me to this, and now it's just massive love and thing that I carry throughout my life. So getting into film, I don't know. It happened.
I think that's everything. It just kind of happens.
Everything good, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's something that just kind of you stumble on for sure. And thankfully, it's not something super hard to find. Movies they've been loved for generations, so I don't have to go too far out of my way. I love the way that you worded that, by the way. How'd you get into film? Thank you very much. I feel very
You talk about it online,
important.
so
I do. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. But yeah,
you'll be this is very funny. My one of my biggest fears growing up was the Wicked Witch of the West.
100%. One of my biggest fears today is the Witch of the West. She is so skin crawlingly evil. And I think it's a shame that that performance isn't ranked like top five. All these like top five villain performances and stuff. She should,
She went to the hospital for this role.
yeah, she did. You're right. Totally. It's absolutely terrifying. And that movie's coming up on 100 years old almost. And it holds
I
up
know.
so well.
It
So
does.
I'm super glad that's the first movie I remember because it's a good one to remember. I'm glad it wasn't like George of
Mhm.
the Jungle 2 or something.
Yeah, no, we had to hide the VHS tape when I was little because I was that scared. But I'm so glad I'm not scared
Oh,
of her anymore.
nice. One day I hope I can reach that point of recovery too.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
What gave you the idea to do the avoid what I say's on TikTok?
Yeah, so the channel originally started as literally just discussion about movies, and it was getting absolutely no views. And it was super aggravating. I think that's the case for like most content creators. You're passionate about something, you get out of your comfort zone to start making a video, and you're like, okay, this is, people are gonna care, and no one cares. It's just another video, and they scroll. And when I started doing the avoid what I says on the channel, it was kind of such a weird blessing because it was definitely a trend. The reason I did it is because 100% it was a trend, but I also thought it was fun. I loved playing them as browsing through my For You page. I absolutely played every one of them. Every one of them. I can confidently say that. So I was like, man, I really want to get this going for movies. I made a couple and they exploded. They absolutely exploded. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna make like 600 more of those real quick. And I did, and I'm now it's evolved into trivia too and some other games here and there. But I started doing the avoid what I say shamelessly because it was a trend.
So you didn't create it, you just made it popular.
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't create it. No, I do get that sometimes though. People do call me one of the, and I'm absolutely not. I saw somebody else doing it. I wish I could remember. It wasn't movies. I think it was music or something. And I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. And I just did it for fun. And in my first couple of videos, if anyone's ever bored and they just want to scroll for 4 hours to get to the first one I ever did, the rooms, I think the lights are off. I'm super monotone. The editing's kind of whatever because I was like, nobody's gonna watch this.
Mhm.
And then people did. So I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. So no, I'm not the originator, but I definitely am closely associated when it comes to the movie part of it.
I mean, I think all good ideas come from like inspiration from other people. Like you take something and you run with it even further than the original creator.
Yeah, I think everything's an inspiration of another thing. But no, it was literally just a trend and I was like, let's give it a shot. I'm so glad I did. And you know what's funny, Claire? I've actually never told anybody this. World exclusive right here. I was so close to just like not making videos anymore because, it was like daily uploads every day, getting a couple dozen views. That sucks. And it's such a common thing. And avoid what I say was literally kind of like a last ditch effort. Let's give this a shot, see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, I'll just private all my videos. So it's kind of like a typical story where it's like the last shot worked. So I'm extremely grateful for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of creators blow up right at the point where they're almost done with it.
Yeah, I I think you're right. Yeah, it's almost like a sense of, I don't want to say desperation because the content didn't change much. I didn't change much, but it was like an inner desperation where it was like I have to make this work because I want it to, and then naturally it just did. And I
I
don't
think
know
it's a sign from
why,
the
but
universe saying, don't give up,
maybe so. It's a hell of a good sign. I'm appreciative of that.
for sure. How much research goes into your Avoid What I Says?
I think this is something that not a lot of people realize, which is it requires a ton of work. It's not hard work, it's just tedious. Especially when I'm talking about so many different fandoms that I'm a part of or some that I'm not a part of. The research as far as what to talk about, well, I'm thankful that I have so many videos that I can kind of understand what people want. But then I'm also not wanting to make the same three topics over and over and over again. So I rely a lot on comments. So many people are like, hey, can you do this? Or hey, can you do this? And I will write down literally every one of them that I see. I try to be as active as possible. So I try to write down every one of them and then go back and be like, is this something worth doing or not? The actual creation of the video is just a lot of Googling. I want to make it fun. I want to make it relevant. I want to make it correct as much as I can. So I depend on Google like it's oxygen. So all in all, I mean, I try to do 4 videos a day, 4 different genres, 4 different topics or fandoms. All in all, I'd say, 3 hours of work a day, which again, not hard work, just tedious.
Yeah.
So that's the
All
thought
that's what
behind it.
all the best jobs are, though, I think.
I would love a world where I know everything, where I don't have to Google it, and maybe one day I'll reach that because I've done it so many times, especially for like some of the reoccurring ones like Disney or Friends or The Office. Like I can do those really quick, but if it's a fandom that I know nothing about, but people have requested multiple times, unfortunately, that tedious work is a must.
What's a fandom that you just like had no idea, but everybody wanted it, so you're like, okay, I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great question. It's Avatar: The Last Airbender. Well, I will say this, making the few videos I have on it has made me want to watch the show. I've become interested in it through doing research. But yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender was one that got requested multiple times and I was like, "Oh man, I'm nervous because I'm not a huge anime person. I've seen maybe 3 animes total front to back." I was very nervous and I think I did okay. I don't remember how those videos did as far as reception goes, but yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender comes to mind immediately.
It's really good. I'm not an anime person either. So like it's like, oh, this is cute. I get the concept. If you like anime, you would love it. So that's my
Right.
take on it.
And that's exactly why I do it, right? It's something that I may not know about 100%, but if you look at these hashtags, sometimes there's millions of videos on something that I know nothing about. It's like, man, I'm definitely the one missing out here. I yeah, I need to look into this a little bit deeper. So it's also kind of introduced me to shows that same kind of concept, right? So like Suits is something that I knew nothing about, and doing research and watching clips to get video questions and stuff. I was like, man, I should give this a shot. So it's kind of like a win-win for me. I get to give that to the fandom, but also I get to add it to my endless to-do list.
What are you most excited to check out now that like you've gotten a comment to go research it?
Oh, like a video that hasn't been made yet?
Or one that you have already made?
It's it's definitely Avatar: Last Airbender.
Yeah.
It looks super cool. And on top of that, there's so much, like, it's a massive show. So there's so much lore, and there's like, the movie spin-offs and stuff, which even though I'm not a fan, I know they're not usually appreciated. I know the movies are considered bad, but it's still something I get to check out. So it's definitely Avatar: Last Airbender. It's probably the next show I watch.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I hope so. I think so.
And then there's
Looks
that
good.
sequel show. Was it The Legend of Korra or something like that?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. That's right. That's something else I got to dive into. Hey, I should make a video about that too. Got to write that down.
Which films inspire you the most?
So I think inspiration can come in many forms. When I was a kid, one that comes to mind immediately is Edward Scissorhands, which might be a silly answer for inspiration, but when I was 6 or 7 and I was like kind of the outcast among my friends group or the kids, it was kind of like handing like, wow, it's okay to be weird, and it was also kind of very eye-opening from just a movie lover standpoint as well. So like I can find inspiration from something like, Edward Scissorhands, but I can also find inspiration from something like Gladiator or like Lord of the Rings, any of them, just kind of like watching them, and from a creator being like, this is so inspiring. How does somebody create this? How does somebody reach this point where they're able to make something of this scale? So, and then there's movies that make me feel alive, or movies that make me feel sad. And I think I love movies because of that, right? It's a very open invitation door, and you take what you need when you leave. So very vague answer, and I apologize, but I think every movie I've ever watched has inspired me in some way, even probably the bad ones.
Oh yeah, for sure. Do you feel like cinema is better or worse today than it was in the past?
Claire, I think the answer might be both. And here's the reason why. So if I was a kid in 1960 and I just watched a crazy good movie in theaters or something, but not or something, that was the only way you could watch them. Those people weren't able to go make a movie. It just wasn't a thing. Now we have 4K cameras in our pockets, and we have editing software that are, there's open source, there's paid, there's thousands of hours of YouTube tutorials on those software. So I think it's a good thing because it gives access to, sorry, I don't know why a thumbs up just went above my head.
Love
It
that.
gives paid actor. It gives access to way more people. And that access could lead to the next generations to Tarantino or Nolan. And that's exciting. But at the same time, it creates an oversaturation. And we see this a lot happen with things like Netflix, which is just like there's so many movies always. And there's new one. I feel like there's 1,000 new Netflix releases every day, which that oversaturation silences the great films or the great actors or actresses or new directors. So the answer is definitely both, because it gives access to more people, but that's also not great sometimes too.
No,
If that makes sense.
definitely. Definitely.
Cool.
It's weird because you'll see like a shitty Netflix original movie and you're like, how did this get made? Like, who approved this? How
Yeah.
many people did this have to go through? Why did the actors agree to this? And then you see
Right.
something like Challengers and you're like, this is what it's
Yeah.
about.
Great example. Yeah, for sure. But I also think that those movies, I think great art, not just movies, I think great art always wins at the end. People will always be able to find challengers. People will always be able to find whatever that movie is, regardless of how many Netflix originals they have to shift through to get there. I think that there's beauty in that somehow.
What are some of the best movies you've seen recently?
My answer is very film bro. The number one is Dune 2. It isn't an original take whatsoever, but it's absolutely Dune 2. Dune 1 was okay. It was a good film, but Dune 2 is like it was a generational defining moment. And I'm not putting that lightly. I think movies like that come out every once every 20 years, if that. Dune 2 is absolutely my answer. But also I just watched Barbie last weekend, and I loved every minute of it. And it reminds me of how much fun movies need to be a thing again. Everything's super serious. And it's funny because I just said Dune 2, which is like a very serious movie. But I do think we have lost touch a little bit of like it's okay to have fun watching a movie. And Barbie reminded me of that. It gave me big Legally Blonde vibes, meaning like the comedy and like uh just kind of the structure of the movie itself. I just watched Legally Blonde too. That's why I made the comparison. But anyways, Barbie and Dune 2 are not original answers by any means, not like hidden gems, but those are my answers for sure.
Your answers are your answers, and both great movies. I have to ask
Yeah,
though, Barbie or Oppenheimer?
man, the hardest question of them all, right?
I have a clear-cut
Uh,
answer.
I think it's got to be Oppenheimer, but I want it to be Barbie, if that makes sense. I'm
Yeah,
rooting for
Barbie got
Barbie.
snubbed so hard at the Oscars.
No, for sure. No, that's something I can definitely agree on, but it makes sense that Oppenheimer is the better film. I hope one day that something like a fun topic like Barbie or whatever the case might be may be able to be recognized as cinema too, but unfortunately the Oscars prove that we're still a little bit behind, which is a bummer because
I mean, I think that Greta Gerwig deciding to release it on the same day just really backfired on her.
for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think that's a risk that most directors have to take though, right? I mean, if you're going against anything, I think it's a great time to be a film director because or just a movie creator in any aspect because Marvel has kind of slowed down a little bit. And for a while, if there was a Marvel movie release, like specifically in Avengers, that was the one that people went to the theater for. That was, generally speaking. So I think it's cool now that we're in like a after Marvel, post Marvel world where actual original stories and things have to pop out again. I'm not anti Marvel, by the way. That was that was just the first
Like
thing that
those
came to
movies,
mind.
it's like soundbite, 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 action scene. That's your movie, and I'm like, where's the
Yeah,
creativity?
sure. And I do think there's a place for that. Just like bring the fun movies back. I think superhero movies absolutely have a place in cinema, just like Oppenheimer and just like Barbie and just like Dune 2. I think it's important that we have options. I desperately crave options and I'm okay with superhero movies because of that.
We have reached the point in the podcast where I want to quiz you.
Okay.
You down for it?
I'm totally down. I'm super excited and I hope that I don't completely fumble this and I'm
I
looked at
think
as
you
like a
will.
movie sham. What's the game? I'm totally
The
game. I'm
category
totally
is
up.
movie trivia, and it's pretty hard.
Okay, let's see what let me pull
It's
up
pretty good.
Google and no, I'm kidding. Oh, my hands are here. Go ahead. I'm ready. I'm
No,
so
you're good.
excited.
Okay. The Wizard of Oz is famously known to be the first movie filmed in Technicolor. But what is the first phrase uttered when Dorothy steps outside the house?
Wow. It's got to be Toto. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, right?
It's close. Toto, I have a feeling we aren't in Kansas anymore.
Oh, I was
It's like the Luke,
wrong.
I am your father.
Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. Dang. Okay, you got me.
Out of
What's it?
question one, really?
Yeah, I know. It's knew
I'll
this would
give it to you.
happen.
I'll give it to you. That one's hard. Second
Okay.
question. What item is in every scene in Fight Club?
Oh, that's easy. That's a Starbucks cup.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to question three. What is the first film to show a toilet flushing?
Um. I, oh man. The reason why I'm so annoyed is because not annoyed at you, just at the
Yeah, yeah.
situation, because I've asked this on one of my daily movie trivias and I
I know you
cannot for the
have.
life. Oh, you're doing this on purpose. That's
No, I
torture.
wrote it down and I was like, I think he asked that already, but like, oh well.
I think it's something like Casablanca, right?
No, wrong genre.
What is it?
Psycho.
Dang. Dang. I'll
I
never
wouldn't
live
have
that
gotten
one
that
down.
either.
It's okay. I'll remember it for the rest of my life now. Okay, I
All
am
right.
2 for 3. That's not good. Or no, 1 for 3. That's not good.
I think you're gonna like this next one though.
Okay, let's
And
hear
if
it.
you get it wrong, I think you'll be pretty upset because I think you like this actor a lot. All right.
Okay.
Actors Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci are one of the most popular acting duos and have been in many films together. How many movies have they been in together?
Okay. That's a good question. Before I answer, which actor do you think I like a lot? De Niro or Pesci?
De
You
Niro.
said, yeah, for sure. Okay, so definitely Goodfellas. That's one.
Hmm.
Casino, that's two.
Hmm.
I think the answer's three with The Irishman.
Are you sure?
Not now. Hold on a minute.
I don't
Hold on.
have the movies with like on my list. Just I just
Okay.
have the
Okay.
number.
Okay. Definitely Goodfellas. Definitely Casino. Definitely Irishman. What other Joe Pesci movie? Oh my gosh. Oh, is it Raging Bull? I think four.
That one's
Is it
correct.
Raging Bull?
That's four.
Oh my gosh, there's another one?
The answer is six.
What? Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't remember what the other two are.
yeah, I can't think. What are so do you have any of the movies?
Let me look it up because I got it from a question online.
Okay. Because that's gonna drive me crazy.
I knew it would.
I was so confident when I said three.
Wait, this thing says seven movies. I'm confused because I had
Oh.
six as my answer.
Get a peek into my world for a minute. You're so
The Good
confident in the
Shepherd.
answer. Okay.
Bronx Tale,
Okay.
Casino, Irishman, Once Upon a Time in America,
Hmm.
Raging Bull, Goodfellas. That's that's the last one on there. That wasn't seven?
I think that was six. Yeah.
Yeah, it's six. I don't know why that says seven.
Well,
But yeah,
regardless, I was wrong.
hey, it's okay. We're working
Dang.
now.
You're bringing the heat, huh?
I told you I would. I needed my reason.
I appreciate. I
All
appreciate
right,
it. I
final
appreciate it.
question.
Okay.
How many times was the F word used in Pulp Fiction?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. Wow.
I love Pulp Fiction.
That's a really
It's a
great,
triple digit
that's
number, I'll give you that.
specific question. Is it 262 times?
You're so close.
261 times? What is the answer?
No, 255.
Hate that for me. I hate that for me.
No, I was looking at this question and I was like, huh. I know they say it a lot, but like, it didn't occur to me that it was said that many. I'm like, there's at least 50, but
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
can
good
recall
writing.
50 different lines.
Yeah, for sure. That's good writing. It blends into the world. It doesn't stand out. That's a really good question I might have to steal.
Yeah, go ahead. You can steal all the questions.
Cool. Well, on tomorrow's movie trivia, you got at least one.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe.
excited to play.
Cool, for sure. That was a lot of fun. I hate that I absolutely bombed. I'm such a
It's okay.
sham.
I bomb all of yours. If I don't get
It's
any of
fair.
them right, I don't post it.
That's totally fair. Yeah.
Or if I like don't say something funny, like the ELJ part, I was like, that was funny. I have to post that.
Yeah, for sure. That is funny. Duets are one of my favorite things to look at because it's like a live reaction, and there's so many of those little moments where somebody's so confident or someone has no idea, but it sounds
Mhm.
right, like the E.L. James or whatever it was. Absolutely hilarious. But
I'm a book talker, and I literally said E.L. James.
that was about The
Couldn't even say
Martian, right?
like I couldn't even say like F. Scott Fitzgerald or something.
The the question was about The Martian, right? Who wrote The
Yeah, who
Martian?
wrote
Was
The
that it?
Martian?
Okay, yeah. Andy Weir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't come up with an S.E. Hinton or something.
T.S. Eliot, another one, another little dang.
To read that
Well,
book.
you should,
But
yeah. It's
yeah.
yeah, for sure.
But where can everybody find you?
Yeah, so easiest way is Between the Cut on TikTok, literally just as it says Between the Cut. And also I have a website which is betweenproduction.com where I have my other links, letterbox, all that stuff. So just go to Between the Cut at TikTok, you'll find me and all those other links.
I will have all of his information linked down below so you guys can go check him out. But thank you so much, CJ, for coming on. This was so fun.
Absolutely. I had an absolute blast. Let's do it again, okay?
We will definitely do it again. Thank you guys so much for watching.